What's up, Plant Junkies? Jody here for another plant video from plantjunkiecreations.com. Okay guys, so today's video is going to be about the basic plant care of this beautiful Epipremnum Pinnatum Variegata. There is a lot going on today. I'm taking this propagation, repotting it into this situation, and I'm going to transplant a few of these today. Here is a little information about my experience with this plant before I get into the basic plant care. So a long time ago, I had purchased a one leaf cutting that had variegation on it and a solid green stem. For those who don't know, when you are going out and purchasing a variegated plant, you want to look for variegation on that stem. That'll promise you a variegated plant, whereas if it's a dark green one, your chances of having a variegated plant are very slim. I'm going to attach a clip of my plant where the first leaf is variegated and the rest are just all green. So that plant is behind me in the same pot with my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. So I want them to grow together and go around my whole plant room is the goal. I heard a rumor that if you chop your plant all the way down to the last variegated leaf, that it might encourage variegation. I've just never done it. I've never tried it. I never had the opportunity to until now, but the truth is I'm a little scared and I'm kind of enjoying the green leaves. During that time, I decided to buy another one, and this one was for a good deal. It's very long. It had missing leaves, so it was not a very attractive plant, so I bought it. I decided I was going to propagate it, so I took whatever node that didn't have a leaf, chopped it up, put it in perlite. Currently, right now, the roots are very small, but then I took the ones with leaves and I put them in perlite, and as you can see, they're taking off. Let's get into the plant care now. The light requirement for this plant can tolerate medium to bright indirect light, but it thrives best in that indirect light. I currently have all of my plants and my propagations under LED grow lights, so they do really well under artificial light. The soil requirement for this plant really enjoys a well-draining epiphytic mix. This plant likes to stay moist, but it doesn't like being soggy, so it's great to add chunkiness to your medium. What I put together here is Fox Farm Happy Frog soil with charcoal, perlite, cocoa core, and coconut husk. The water requirement for this plant, like I always say, just depends on what type of pot you're using and what size. For this 2-inch plastic pot, I water on a weekly basis. This plant enjoys being moist but does not like being soggy and can tolerate some droughtness. If you have a plant that is in a 4 to 6 inch pot, I would water that on a 10 to 14 day cycle. For your smaller pots like that, a tip to know when to water is take a look at the surface of your soil. Is it dry? Can you see any moisture? And if it is dry, like this one, that's a great time to water. Now, when you start going to bigger pot sizes, for example, I have a 10 or 14 inch pot back there. It's a terracotta pot. It's mixed in with my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It can be a little tricky because there's more medium. It stays moist for longer. So what I'll do is I stick my finger in the soil up to my second knuckle, about 2 inches, and if I feel moisture at the tip of my finger, I will not water. And then the next day I'll keep checking, and when it is dry, that's when I water. Another tool you can use is right here. I have a water meter, and you got wet and you got dry. When it's in the middle and just below the middle there, that is a great time to water this plant. The fertilizer requirement for this plant, you typically want to fertilize 2 times a month during the growing season. I like to rotate between the fertilizers that I use. Sometimes I'll use worm castings mixed into a gallon of water. Other times I'll use my hydrolyzed seaweed fish fertilizer. Sometimes I'll use my Gringo Rasta Rise Up, as well as Super Thrive. These cuttings are about 3 to almost a month old. When propagating in perlite, make sure there is a little bit of water down below so that the perlite up here can suck up some of that moisture. This is dry up here. It's running low, hence why the leaves are droopy. You want them to be up and perky. So when you start to notice that, I would add more water to this. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Also, if you guys are interested in plant care videos, click on that icon to subscribe to my channel.